Yo, what's going on, boys? It's your boy Butters, and today we're talking about working with addicts. Now, this was my first job. I didn't get a job right out of high school. I was 21. I got a job at a fast food place, and you meet some very interesting characters. Now, it was my first job, so I got stuck on the shitty overnight shift, but it turns out overnight shift ain't shitty, right? Now, you gotta be a certain kind of person to enjoy the overnight shift, but the overnight shift is the best kind of shift, right? So, you especially with like the people you work with, you learn more about people. You know what I mean? So, like the overnight shift, as you work longer and longer, more days, nights with each other, you start to get pretty personal. You get to know people. You talk, you conversate, right? And so at this time I smoked weed, and we were talking, and this girl who was hired a couple months ago, and her and her husband got a job at Whataburger, and he was a cleaner, and he cleaned shit during the day, and uh, she worked the overnight shift and sometimes the morning shift, right? And so she was telling me one night that she likes to hit the crystal, and I thought that was kind of insane. And her and her husband enjoyed that activity together. And I mean, it is what it is, but I'm not going to tell somebody what they can and can't do. Well, who the fuck am I, you know? And so, uh, with, I mean, it really does explain what happened with them, right? And so, we're going to give them a name. We're going to call them Greg and, let's say, Linda, right? So, Greg was the cleaner. He worked the morning shift. He would clean shit. He would clean bathrooms, clean windows, bust tables at the fast food place, 'cause people ate there. And there was one day where I was working the drive-through window, the first drive-through window where it's payment only, right? And I finish, like, the line gets done, and we get a little slow, and so I have a minute to go refill my beverage, my drink, right? My drink of choice was Dr. Pepper. And so I would, just walk up to the front and refill my drink. And so one day I was going up to refill my drink, and I peeked around the corner to see if anybody was at the prep table doing anything. I'm a talkative guy. I like to talk. Being back there, it gets kind of lonely because you're in the back corner of the restaurant. So, like, when you're going to refill your drink or do something, it's nice to say hi to somebody you see, right? So, I peek around and I see Greg is passed out on the prep table. Well, that's not very good. So I went up to my manager and I was like, "Yo, Greg's on the table. He's asleep." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "He's on the prep table and looks like he passed out." And I believe that is when Greg unfortunately got let go. Um, it wasn't because he passed out, but he had other problems and he had other incidents, right? Well, that's all we'll say about that. Now, Linda, on the other hand, Linda was more of a character, right? So, like, I was I was leaving one night, and she asked me if I would take her down to Walmart. And this is 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. But she said she needed to go to Walmart to get some feminine products. I was like, all right, whatever, cool, sure. Ask your manager, see if you're clear to leave for like 30 minutes or whatever. Take a break and go to Walmart. You just got here, so you got to get permission first. So she gets permission, blah blah blah, whatever. We hop in the whip and we start riding to Walmart, right? We pulling out the parking lot, and she looks over at me and she goes, "Hey," and I was like, "What's up?" And she goes, "Do you take pills?" And I was like, "Nah, not really." And she's like, "Would you want to?" And I was like, "Nah, not really." She had no problem popping a pill in my car. Which, I mean, whatever, who cares, right? That's her choice, and she has to live with the consequences of doing that, right? And so, we go to Walmart, we get her shit, we get her back, right? But there was she also had a problem, especially in the morning shifts, right? We would get breaks around like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And she would drive over on her break to the gas station down the street of the fast food place, and she would fill up she would grab a bottle of Barefoot and come back and refill her fast food restaurant cup with like wine, like with Barefoot. And fucking, she didn't think anybody knew she was drinking, but we could all smell it on her breath. And she got caught up, and unfortunately she had to be let go too. But like, it's like, what are you thinking when you do this type of shit, Like, what is going through your brain when you're like bringing Barefoot to work and passing out at work on the table that we used to cut lettuce? Like, you were supposed to be cutting lettuce. How did you pass out? These are questions that need answers. But I think we all know why he passed out. And so with that, I'm gonna say, stay away from drugs, live a healthy lifestyle, and use your brain, especially at work when interacting with your coworkers, because you can create a very bad situation for yourself. And I think the lesson to learn is don't do drugs. At the very, very least, I feel, and I just heard this word recently, I think California sober is the most acceptable way of living life, if you're going to do that kind of lifestyle. And with that being said, I'm going to catch you guys in the next time. Post in the comments, what is your wildest interaction with a coworker that you've had? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to see more content, and to find out what kind of other characters I've worked with and interacted with at work. Catch you boys in the next one. Peace out, gamers.